Okay, folks, here we are back at the Haven. I left you all yesterday with a disaster. Um, I apologize, I guess. I don't really apologize, but sometimes I'm not real smart if I do stupid stuff like that. But, anyways, here we are today, folks. And what I have done is everything seems to be on the wrong side here. What I have done is put this extruder back together. Um, I don't know, for some reason I'm feeling like something's wrong here, but it's not. Uh, I had to do this off film because I'm just not good at the camera flowing there or anything. That goes down in there. So I gotta come up in here. I forgot to do this. This is my fault. Oh, wire management on 3D printers. It can be pain in the neck. Yep, try not to cut your wires with these things. Get it using zip ties like most of us do. Alright, man, so cramped up right there. Come on, guys. Right away, you need to. Alright, stop. What are we trying to do? Right there. Alright, up through here, down there, up. Get in there, guys. Alright. Come on. Everybody in. It's like college back when I used to know. Got hurt the wires. Once you got them in there, okay. You gotta make sure they're pulled up in there so that when you're printing, your wires don't sag down past your hot end. It's been known to happen. If you don't have your wires tied up right, not to me, but I've seen it. All right, here we are, folks. We got some wires. Once you got them tied up and you know they're far enough up there and whatnot, then you use a zip tie. That's right. And then you make sure they cannot come below your nozzle end. Now, two things I learned as I took this apart. This hot end does not even have an actual heat block to it. It's just right in the extruder. I'm not. I'm going to tell you right now, I probably don't like this setup, this particular head. But I've also learned while putting these things together, and again, when it comes to putting an extruder back together, folks, that's just these two extruders are about the same. It's just tedious and tiny parts, and I don't know. If you're gonna do it and you're unsure about yourself, take a picture of it as you take this cover off. Take a picture. You'll have it laid out like how it has to go back together. Um, and that's the best I can give you on that sort of stuff. Like to give you a step by step, that's what I would do actually. And maybe I will get to that point on the website. I don't know, but what I'm anxious to try, and I did double check, it was the motor that was failing. As far as oh yes, how I came across another motor, my dumbass. I should have just I have my Zone Star over here, as I think I've said in enough videos. That thing is junk, but um, it does have four low profile extruder motors, whatever, stepper motors. Anyways, it has 4 of them. So I stole one, and it works just fine. And in the process, I learned this one now no longer works at all. It doesn't grind, it doesn't do anything. And I guess I could show you that real quick. So that's where we're at. We'll show you that, and we'll shut the machine back down. And oh yes, and with any luck, we do have a print going on Tronxy over there. You barely see it there at the bottom of the screen. If I zoom in, it's going to go even further away. There it is. So that's that. So by the end of today, what I would like to see is my front yard cleaned up, because that's mandatory. Old Blue here with Direct Drive Extruder working. I do fear that the wheels are different. The gear ratio is different. But Old Blue here comes with a low, medium, and high extrusion rate. So maybe I can fix it with just that. I don't know. I'll have to spit filming out and find out. So for now, and the last thing I want to do is have a little go fixed over there. I talked to Anycubic, and they sent me my sales reps sent me to the engineers, and I don't know. With any luck, maybe I'll get an Anycubic, a new Anycubic, cheap if not free. I doubt free. I haven't gotten anything free. I see these YouTubers and whatnot, they get free stuff. I'm not one of them guys. I pay for everything out of my pocket. Pay for my Acer motor. Not saying I don't get a couple of good deals or nothing, because I do that. I talk my stuff and get my money. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they don't pay me to do none of this. I mean, it's super cool to get paid to do this. Come on, get in there, Bill. Alright. How did I do that before? Oh, there we got her. That's how I did it before, by the way. These things are and can be serious pain in the neck. Never doubt that. Oh, I did that again too. See? I can't have this on yet. I don't know why I've done it twice now. I will say organized better than I do. I tell everybody it's my unorganized mess, whatever. I'm just unorganized. I jump from project to project. I get them all done. Just if I get caught up on one, I move to another one for a little while, because if you're stuck on something, I'm going to tell, that's one of my, if we're giving advice as tinkers or makers or whatever you want to call us folks, if you're stuck on something, get the hell away from it for a minute. Please. If you just sit there and keep messing with the same thing over and over and over, you're just going to make it worse and worse and worse. And before you know it, that thing that you had and you were almost happy with, and it was looking real good and whatnot, now you've got a pile of jello that you don't know what to do with. So, again, my advice, if you are stuck, you're struggling with something, let it go. Don't sit there and beat it to death. It won't help you. So notice, last video, I left you guys frustrated and in a mess right here on this bed. And maybe, like I said, if I'm going to do tutorials and stuff for people, I'll do it the old-fashioned way, like we did with the Xbox and stuff. We did have cameras, but not. YouTube definitely wasn't there, and some stuff just wasn't the same. But Microsoft Word and some pictures, do some drawing on them and all that other fancy stuff. You know, back when you could use a 2 megapixel camera and paint. Yeah. And you still can do those things. The world wants fancy, simple. Simple and fancy. The two don't really go hand in hand in my opinion. That's like saying give me cheap quality. Can't do it. Man. Use your head. You want cheap, well, then you gotta give up something, right? And normally that something ends up being quality because time, better materials, you know. Most of this stuff that I do is not any rocket science, except that, you know, I'll get that one of these times, but not this time. I've done that like all 10 times putting these things together. I think that one will work out. The other thing, when I first started a year and a half ago, I used to just clip plastic and let it lay. Tell myself I'll sweep it up and I'll pick it up later, whatnot. Don't do that. Belts for hand. Always keep belts on hand. You're gonna need them. Also, once you get to understand this 3D printing and such, you never, ever have to have this belt so tight that it might pull them zip ties loose. Never. These are things like you're gonna, as a beginner 3D printer, you'll read things about. You'll read like that belt tension and whatnot will make your table skip around, and it will. But if it's skipping, it's not. There's a good chance it's because it's too tight already. All right. Ready for this, folks? Let's see what we can do here. I'm excited. Oh, I'm so stupid sometimes. Let it boot up. Don't just power it back down. Okay, it's booted up. For a second or two. Yeah, always plug stuff in. You don't really have to unplug it to do this part here, but set that motor up there for a minute because we gotta heat the nozzle up in order to show you that this one no longer works. This one does. This one that works came from my Z8 Zone Star Z8 MP4 junk ass thing. Old Blue's getting kind of loud. We're gonna have to do serious maintenance on it, I suspect. But here we go, folks. First, I was gonna just home this damn thing, but I'm glad I didn't. It'll heat up the nozzle so we can trick it into thinking it's gonna feed filament. No, right now it's not gonna feed filament. And I think Old Blue I'm going to pull right out of there. Maybe I'll clean off the kitchen table and bring Old Blue out there and film that. I don't. I'm not an actor or a movie star by any means. I might turn the dog into one. I'm going to have some customizable dog and cat stuff for sure. But a lot going on. Real job outside all this, obviously. Hope everybody out there is doing well. And again, if I could say so, Old Blue here, great printer. This is the first time I've tried to upgrade her. I had no reason to prior to this. Okay, we're at plenty warm enough for this motor to not work. Is everybody ready? Here we go. Should do nothing. I hope I didn't get these bad boys switched around. That'll suck. Well, folks, I gotta see. That'll be a really bad bummer right there. If I put the wrong motor back in, that'd be par for the course, though. That's yeah, that's hot. Oh, for God's sakes! All right, you see, that's where you're gonna want to make sure that thing's pulled up tight. This is gonna be a bummer. We gotta hope for the best here, folks, because I sure hate to know that I accidentally switched these things around, but very possible because that's the working motor right there. That's a damn bummer. I'm ready for the disappointment, so. And to burn knuckle. Yeah, I'm doing good this morning. Or maybe I'll just get lucky and that one's decided to start